Playoff football has come to the west coast of Florida, and we are at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They begin on the ground with Camaro. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
From the 31, Tua. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. In the wild card win last week, he had just 2 catches, and now he's got his first one here.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
A Buccaneer sack.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. From the gun, it's a run for Camaro. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Well executed there on second down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you run the ball in that distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a second time.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Open man is Michael Thomas. And they're going to move it down inside the 25. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the 1st down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him, and I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Scoring first, so critical in the postseason. They've got it here 1st and goal. Kamara will score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Brady and the Buccaneers here 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Demario Davis there on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a play fake. Brady. He completes it to Julio Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. A perfectly executed crossing route. Brady now on 1st down. And that's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On play action, it's Brady. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a 1st.
Hey, check it.
Brady going to throw. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 24-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense the next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 2nd and 7, Brady. He completes it to Evans. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Brady. Over the middle, it's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Brady looking to throw on 3rd and 2. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. Fournette, touchdown, Buccaneers. So another rushing touchdown for him this year. Boy, he's found the end zone quite a bit so far. Charles, that now an even 20 scores on the season.
And you know how often we use the term, probably I overuse the term, imposing their will? Well, these defenses have become really powerless to stop him. That's what we've seen from him and his team this year. You know he's getting the ball down here in the red zone, but he's just got that strength of will himself, and he's used it to great effect.
Extra point up and good by Suckup, and we are tied at 7. Team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Ready.
They run it again with Kamara. And the Buccaneer defense for the 2nd straight play, flexing its muscle and forcing a loss. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? Going to the air, Tagovailoa. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Ready.
On first down, Tagovailoa. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 10 yards, good for the Saints, first down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Sometimes just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
And let's see, the Bucs with 6 DBs, so a dime set here on 3rd down. Looking to pass. Tua. They'll get this out to Kamara. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the first down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. A shotgun give to Fournette. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
I don't think anyone would argue that having that extra week definitely helps come playoff time. And those were some fresh legs right there. That extra practice time and planning, certainly in evidence.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Up the gut, Fournette, and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Saints. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know a lot of defensive coaches have certain guys on their squad that they look to as drive stoppers, guys who can make big plays, interceptions, knock it free. In this case, they didn't need one. The offense supplied it for them, just dropping the ball.
Yeah, and that was after they were doing so well on this drive through the air. They go to the ground, doesn't work. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Stuck for the loss by Devin White.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Tua going to throw. And Thomas has it. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
On 2nd and 12, Tua.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
And that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette as the first half is winding down. Extra point try now for Saka. And that makes it 14-10.
Not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out.
Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC Divisional Round matchup. As we toss an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working, but they run it more effectively. They may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
From the 25 on second down, Brady. And Brake, the tight end's got it. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Brady. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Again, it's Brady. And that will be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this one will be touchdown inside the 40-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Levante David. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. To this point, they've delivered.
Extra point put through by Suckum, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Looking long for Thomas. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Bucs will take over possession here at the 44. So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick from here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it's ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Fournette a first down carry, but he'll get only a couple before defenders are there to meet him. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still had the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Brady. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Brady. he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Taking on the midfield logo. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. On 1st and 10, here's Brady. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter. But that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Tua. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
The timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Fournette on the counter, and the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Brady to throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Fournette running out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Brady. A pass underneath for Fournette. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And they get Tristan Wirfs, first-round pick in 2020. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. To throw, it's Brady. Caught by Jones. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. 1 quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. A handoff to Fournette. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to supplement our way in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
Okay, ready?
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the fourth quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with, and that's caught inside the 35. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity, unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. And my goodness, another interception. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And some room to run there. There he goes, left side. 30. 10. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
The week off hasn't hurt him one bit. 1,000-yard rush in the regular season. Got his first touchdown here in the playoffs. Perhaps the week off energized him.
A great article in the paper this morning basically saying that they would not have won the division without him. And he's not their only piece, but I think that's a fair statement.
It's easy to say it this way. He's their main cog.
Suck up for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns and 21 points. Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now they'll toss it out right to Kamara. 42 yards on the ground for him so far.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And the box with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. Well, they needed two. They could only get one. Fourth down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
They run. It's Kamara. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. Finding Taysom Hill complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now Tua. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find...
Yeah, the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. That's Akeem Hicks, the towering NFL vet, coming in for the sack.
If we go back to the last series, remember, their coverage allowed them to get a turnover in the last drive, a takeaway, and that helped contribute to a sack on this one. I think maybe this quarterback's a little bit hesitant. Last time he turned it over, now he sees his zone coverage, a little bit slow to get rid of the football.
After the sack on first down, Tua under pressure, they got him again. Joe Tryon, he's the one that drops in this go-around. That pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks.
Remember, defensive coach always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. They put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score.
Ready.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Under pressure, and they got to him again. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him
interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run it again with Fournette. And once more, this play going in the wrong direction. The Saints get to him behind the line again. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Inside handoff down to Fournette. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The Buccaneers are moving on in these playoffs as we say thanks for watching and so long.
ready?